All right, Coach. Well, that seemed like a pretty tremendous performance for you guys. Just give us your thoughts on tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was fun to get out there. I mean, I think obviously the big, thing is the first shutout since 2003 at North Texas. So great, starting off with a bang for Coach Cassidy and the crew. I thought they were phenomenal all night. Made some good adjustments. They came out in 12 personnel early. We got up early and they kind of flipped the script on us and started putting some more wideouts on there, and then gave us the opportunity, I think, to get some takeaways. So those two takeaways at the end of the half were huge. Wish we would have came up with more than a field goal. You really our only blunder, I thought, up until we kind of took everybody out and started trying to run the clock out, was there on the goal line, and it was actually my fault. I called the wrong formation from the wrong sideline on the fourth down that we didn't get. So, I make mistakes too, and that was on me. But yeah, I thought Drew performed at a high level. He continues to show us that he's calm under pressure. He got to his third, fourth read quite a few times. I thought he was extremely accurate down the field, and he kind of handled just running our offense with ease. And so, the one thing, just before going back and watching the tape, I didn't think we really established the run game as good as I thought. But they stacked the box on us and were daring us to throw some stuff. So we hit some nice RPOs down the field that were explosive for us. But got to do a better job probably just getting the run game to be a little bit more efficient for us.
Yeah, we talked all offseason about, the effort to make this team a little bit better defensively. What did you see today that you guys did so well to make this defense so effective in that first game?
Yeah, they were phenomenal the whole entire game from start to finish. I mean, I think that, first and foremost, I think stopping the run's been a huge issue for us. The past 2 years, they did a phenomenal job just getting them in some third and long situations, which is advantageous for us to be able to, get into some sub packages, use our athleticism on the outside. We played a little bit more man coverage. Defensive line got pressure. I think our ends did a really nice job. Zaylen Scott, Ethan Day, are guys that had big-time sacks for us when we got them backed up and in some throwing downs. And I thought we tackled well on defense just as a whole. I mean, on the perimeter, some of our corners made some phenomenal tackles early. And so just all in all, I mean, I haven't looked at the stats yet. So what do they have total offensive-wise?
119.
Yeah, 119. So anytime you can hold a squad 119, in 4 quarters is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, Coach, a concern in the offseason that was brought up was the idea of combining this explosive offense with this Sam Houston defense and seeing, if the pace would affect this defense. Based on this performance tonight, what did you kind of evaluate on that end?
Yeah, something, and we got to get better. I at the end when we just kind of slow, we just don't practice that a ton where we slow everything down and we're a no-huddle offense. And, we had all of our backup O-linemen in, and I thought we missed some stuff there late when we were trying just to control the game. But other than that, we utilized tempo. The first couple drives, I thought we had some really explosive plays that allowed us to get down. And I thought the game, their mentality, I think, switched when we got up 14-0, 13-0. I think we missed the 2-point conversion there after the first one. So 13-0, I thought they kind of flipped into something they didn't really want to do. And I think that's really good for us going forward, and especially, playing some of these slowed down offenses. I think they're a little bit more uncomfortable, just like we're uncomfortable at the end of the game, not huddling and slowing everything down. I think they're a little more uncomfortable, dropping back and throwing the ball as much as they had to.
Even with that defensive performance, you guys played without David Fisher today. I just wanted to know about his status and what was it like playing without him.
Yeah, week to week. I mean, Fisher and Landon Sides are both week to week. Those are two, big pieces of the puzzle for us around here. Landon, we need to get back healthy, but are on pace right now to play next week. So looking forward to that. Jim Toe got banged up on the second drive, who's been phenomenal for us at right tackle. And so, I have to talk to the trainers after this just to see what his status will be going forward. But other than that, I thought, we got out pretty clean today and didn't have too many injuries.
You already touched on one, but there's a lot of records and storylines in the mix for this game. What does that say about the projection of this program being able to best so many records and lay a foundation for the team this year?
Yeah, we're way far away getting ahead of ourselves right now. I think that was a good way to start the season. I think Mike Leach would always tell you not to read your own press clippings when you're starting to have a little success. So I think it's important for us to continue to prepare the way we have. I think they've done a phenomenal job the last 2 weeks of really gearing in. We had an extra week to prepare for Lamar, so we'd seen this game plan on offense and defense and special teams for 2 straight weeks, and that'll all speed up. And we got to continue to buy into preparing on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Next week, we travel all the way up to the Northeast and into Western Michigan, Kalamazoo. Looking forward to going up there and playing. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to win college football games. It's harder to win on the road. And so, we'll have our work cut out for us next week.
I mean, it's also hard to complain about a 51-0 win like this one. Besides the ground game, do you think there's anything else that this team can improve in based on tonight?
No, I think our protection was good up front. I think our receivers, we spread the ball around, which we've done the last couple of years here. It's good to see some of these guys go out and make plays. Cam Dorner was a guy that came out and thought played extremely well. Wyatt Young had 2 phenomenal touchdown catches. So those guys, I mean, they're a little bit, we're a lot older team than what we were a year ago. And so I think it's been fun to just see the maturity of the team and the way they prepare. They've made plays, even though, maybe that wasn't somewhere else. But yeah, I thought we had a plethora of different guys that come out and contributed for us on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned, a little bit of struggle to establish that run game. You mentioned that Lamar was stacking the box against you guys. Do you have any adjustments planned for on your end of executing the rushing attack next week?
Yeah, we'll just have to go back and study it. I think tomorrow on Sunday we'll go back and really evaluate kind of what we did good, what we did bad. First time this group, had played together. And so I think just getting them more cohesive and making the calls. And we were really close on splitting a couple of the inside zones that we didn't. And so, I think just continuing to build off of it and kind of find what our niche is. Might have ran a little bit too many schemes today. I mean, we ran inside zone, outside zone, different forms of counter. Maybe I need to pare that down a little bit and just hang your hat on what we're good at. So, yeah, I'll let you know later this week.
The emphasis in the offseason in the past few years has been, creating turnovers defensively. You already created a turnover and score off that turnover in the end zone. What was that kind of like, seeing your defense be able to create turnover and score off of it?
That was good. I think I owe Coach Cassidy money. I don't know how much I bet him, but I told him I'd give him money for every defensive score because we haven't had one since I've been here. So I'm racking my brain back on how much I actually bet him and how much I'm going to have to pay. But I'll be happy to pay it. Trey Fields' interception was phenomenal, one-hand grab. I mean, that was incredible. I had a great view of that. So I think, just great energy after. I think that was after the 4th down for us. We sputter on offense, and that's what great teams do. I don't think they blinked an eye. The 2 times we turned the ball over, one was on downs, and then the other one, I thought they came out. They didn't have a look on their eye. I mean, Coach Cassidy will tell you all the time, their job's to stop the offense wherever, whatever situation they're put in. And so they just continue to battle. And then Ethan Weslasky, I think he had as good a game as he's had since we've been here. He had a ton of tackles around the ball, incredible play at the end of the half there to strip that and then get on it. I thought that was huge momentum for us going into halftime. And we were able to come back out and kind of continue playing that way throughout the rest of the third quarter.
Yeah, Ethan Day was one of your big targets this year in the offseason. You talked a lot about him in fall camp. What did you kind of see from him today? He had 5 total tackles, 1 sack. He's be able to bring pressure to the quarterback. What did you see from him?
Yeah, and too, I mean, I think just he prepares so well. We actually put him at tight end in all of our goal line packages today, and something I think we'll continue to find more and more roles for him. Stepped up at some big times, had a big sack. He's so trustworthy. I mean, he's in the right spot, the right time, every single time. And, we actually, when we were able to go back and scout him playing against him at Wyoming, and he was one of the best defensive ends we faced last year. And so we saw the effort, continues to take care of his body. I mean, he just approaches everything like a professional every day. And so I wish we had like 5 or 6 Ethan Days right now. But, yeah, we're super proud of him.
And Drew Mestemaker, 329 yards through the air. He was able to rush the ball a little bit. It was his first full start in this season. What have you kind of seen from him, and how do you feel like he can improve off a game like this against the FCS team?
Yeah, I mean, I think he just continues to grow. I mean, it's still remarkable when I watch him play how cool and calm he is, like just knowing that that's his second game to play in the last 6 or 7 years. Like, and it's a little bit eerie and freaky, to be honest with you. So he commanded everything great today. Like, I mean, he that's one thing. It's been fun to watch his confidence grow and be a leader in the huddle and take voice in the huddle, take charge when it needs to be taken charge. He's great on the sideline with the defense. I just think he's the ultimate team player. He's grateful to be where he is right now. I think, if you asked him 2 years ago if this would be in his wildest dreams that he'd be here as a freshman right now, starting and doing what he's doing. He'd tell you he's crazy. So we're lucky we have him.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good one.
All right, Ethan, it seemed like such a tremendous defensive performance. What were your immediate thoughts after that game?
Just a statement to who we are, I feel like. We kind of put up there's an article posted about us saying how the offense is going to have to carry us all year. Like, if our offense doesn't score, we ain't going to win games. And so that was kind of just like to show them that our defense can actually come out there and play and do stuff. And, I mean, you've seen all the turnovers and excitement we had, so it just shows.
Yeah, it was a big storyline in the offseason, especially with Coach Cassidy coming in. Now, we kind of saw is this a sign of what we're going to see from this defense this year?
Yeah.
How did Coach Cassidy help you guys improve?
I mean, every day I feel like we're stacking days over and over. It's, what he says, we don't win a game on Saturday, you win a game on Monday practice, you win a game on like the tough Tuesdays, the 28 period practices. Like, those are where you win the game at. And I feel like we had a great fall camp, and I got here in spring with him too. So ever since then, I feel like we've been putting a good defense together, and it showed.
Has he instilled some confidence in you guys as he's gone along here?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like our defense, if you do your job and execute, everyone's got a job. If you do your one of 11, you're going to end up making a play. Don't try to do too much. The plays will come to you once you just do your job.
You feel like it can be a stepping stone for this defense? Now that you've got Cassidy in place, you got the system in place, and you played well in it, can this vault you forward?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we're going to go each week and keep stacking games and see how it goes. I mean, 24-hour rule. Once 24 hours is up, we're done with this game, on to the next, Western Michigan.
Absolutely, yeah, pretty dominating defensive performance. What do you feel like was working so well for you guys out there?
I feel like we were just running our base calls. That was just a little sliver of the playbook. We didn't do too much out there. I feel like everyone, like I said, if you do your job, you're not making a play somehow. Don't try to get greedy and try to do too much. I feel like it's about doing your 1 of 11 and making plays.
Absolutely, yeah. Coach just mentioned that the plan for putting you on offense as a tight end. How was that experience like today?
It was fun. That was something I was in his ear all summer long. I was like, I can play both ways. Like, let me do it. And then a couple weeks ago, we actually sat down and fully actually went on it. I didn't think we were actually going to do it, and then you go out there, get to block a little bit, have some fun on offense. So it's good to score.
He mentioned that he's going to try to, or the staff is going to try to increase your role or investigate to see, what kind of roles you'll have. What does that mean to you to be able to play on that side as well?
I mean, it's fun. I feel like I have, I know the defense real well, so I'm still trying to learn. Like, I'm still trying to learn everyone's job on it, but I want to be able to expand my role. I feel like being able to get reps at tight end and block and help the guys out on that side, be a bigger body and dominate other DNs, which I know what they're doing each time, so that helps a lot. But it's just a fun way to get more plays, I guess.
Coach Morris has had a lot of praise for you throughout the offseason, and actually he just touched on you in this press conference. Kind of describe your time under him so far coming to this program and then your first game in a mean green uniform.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, Coach Morris, best head coach ever. I mean, love the guy, Crazy that I played against him, a year ago today? Or, I mean, not a year ago today, a year ago. But, and then him hitting me up when I'm in the portal and being able to come here and him, like, the staff's welcoming here. Like, I felt like, okay, I felt comfortable here. I feel like Coach Morris is the coach. I talk to him every day. I say what's up to him, have a conversation with him. You can go in his office. He tells you, you can go in his office whenever you want. Go chat with him about life, family, anything like that. So he's a real coach.
What's the culture and chemistry been like between you and the defensive unit so far?
It's been good. I mean, we have a lot of the Sam Houston guys. They welcomed me in when they first came over here. So we both got here at the same time, and I feel like that was perfect for us to, like, bond. I feel like me and Bryson Hayes are real close as friends, So it's just, as a whole defense, I feel like everyone, like, we're all like one group. If I'm saying like too much, you can tell me.
Yeah, Ethan, I feel like it'd be a mistake not to ask you a follow-up question about it. You mentioned, seeing an article out there talking about the defense. How much, bulletin board material did you kind of see out there this week?
Yeah, I mean, I seen that article. We posted it on our thing, and then there was some. Let me pull it up real quick. There was some article posted about me, saying like, "Oh, he's just another guy." I don't know who posted it, but it was a former Wyoming lineman, wasn't among the most highly regarded. So I feel like that was just like a disrespect to me. That was like a chip on my shoulder. My brother called me when like that article got posted. He was like, use this as motivation. Use this as, damn, they think you're just some guy here to fill a role. And so I feel like that was just one of my big like chips on my shoulders coming to this game to prove myself.
You know, you went against this defense last year, and this is the first time North Texas had a shutout defensively since 2003. You know, what do you feel like you guys did in this offseason to be able to prepare for a game, even if it's against FCS, to be able to shut out a team like that?
I mean, I feel like it starts when we got here in January. Winter workouts, we're getting together as a group, you know, on our own, doing indie drills on our own, being like, get as much extra work as possible. We think about NFL guys, like those guys are doing so much stuff all the time together that's not team regulated, or it's not like, oh, we got to be here for this hours. It's we're coming back at 5 o'clock. We're doing after workouts. We're doing like drills all the time. I feel like it's just like to never let up here is what like we go by on our defense.
You know, Ethan Wesloski led the team in tackles today. And what have you kind of seen from him? You know, is he in a leadership role for you guys on defense?
Yeah, he's a super good player. I mean, when we ran a lot of base today, which was good, and I mean, he showed out. He came out and balled, which is good. You know, he's one of our returners from last year, and I mean, he proved himself today for sure. Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Ethan. So, I mean, it's such a great defensive performance. Just what was the feeling like to put it together like that?
Man, it was awesome. I've been here for a lot of time, and to go out there and hold an offense to just over 100 yards of total offense, under 50 of rushing, I mean, that is something we can be really proud of as a team. It was a team effort through and through. You know, everybody did their job at the right time in the right moments, and you know, found a way and got it done.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously you had the big, you know, defensive touchdown there. I mean, you've been here a while. Is that something you've been looking forward to finally get one? And what was the feeling like?
Oh, it was awesome. I mean, and there's been multiple times in the past couple of years where I've tried to bait throws and been close. They didn't throw them or whatever. I actually tried to get one the next drive, but the feeling itself, I couldn't tell you. I blacked out. I saw the ball, I got on the ball, and everyone was yelling at me, and so I kind of just blacked out, and then ended up on the sideline with my buddies. But it was a great feeling, and it's something we need to keep replicating.
Yeah, because I mean, you guys have talked about, you know, really making this defense significantly better under Coach Cassidy. What helped you guys take a step forward under him tonight?
And the message all week's just been do your job. You know, if you do your 111th and everyone does their 111th, we're going to be all right. So, you know, coming into it, we said if we can do our jobs on every play, you know, we're going to be just fine. You saw that. It was very evident tonight.
And this is a little bit off the topic here, but I was working on something for next week on Joshua Pierce, who's going home next week when you guys play Western Michigan. What have you seen from him, and how has he helped contribute to this team in a short time here?
Man, he's helped a lot. You know, we get a lot of people every year that come in and out, and he's a guy that's going to show up every day and get his job done and do his work. And you know, so it's a guy we're going to continue to rely on as the season gets old.
Even kind of all through camp, we kind of ask a couple questions to the defensive guys, asking how this unit's going to come together. Was any part of this remote surprise to you?
No. This is, we've said in the past that, we're a tight group, we have a good culture. No, this is generally the tightest group I've been a part of. We're hanging out on and off the field. We're going fishing. We're doing stuff off the field. And we're in the locker room. I mean, it's like you're hanging out with your brothers at home. Like, I mean, I had a brother growing up, and we're just hanging out, doing kind of whatever. You're flowing. It's great chemistry, and it's just something that even through camp we came together really well, and I think it helped us a ton out there today.
Absolutely. You're not the only defender who's kind of mentioned that idea of, you know, the 111 doing, you know, just your job. You know, what has Coach Cassidy done for you guys to kind of buy into that system as much as you have?
He's done a great job. I mean, he's done a great job. He puts us in great situations to be able to execute at the highest level. He lets us play fast and confident and free, knowing that, you know, if we make a mistake, I've got one of my buddies right behind me who's come to, you know, help clean me up. So, you know, he's done such a good job, you know, controlling the teaching and how we learn and how we're doing things and how we're executing that. It just lets us play fast and free.
I wanted to ask you, you know, how rewarding is it for you personally, you know, as a returner from last year and having to learn this entire new defense?
Man, I pride myself on being one of the smarter guys in the defensive unit, in the LB room. And so the defense as a whole, again, Cassidy did such a great job of breaking it down for us and making it really simple, but just being able to, you know, understand things and play fast, like I said, it's just been so good for us.
And then, you know, after that touchdown on the sideline, you got to have, you know, your turn during the Stone Cold celebration. What was that whole moment like for you?
I'd love to tell you. I'd love to tell you. I don't know what happened. All I know is my right foot slipped as I was coming back, and all I wanted to do was not fall on TV. That was my main goal. But it was having my brothers sitting right there next to me celebrating as a team. It was awesome.
A big effort in this offseason was to add experience to this roster, whether that be through transfers or whatnot. How do you think that has helped this team propel forward going into this season?
I think we did a great job because there's, like you said, there's a lot of guys with experience coming in from other places, and there's people that have played ball. They know how to handle the trials and tribulations through a game. They know if we go score and they go score, and it wasn't our best effort, that we got to come back together as a unit. And I think just the cohesiveness of our unit and how we can play together through those trials and tribulations speaks a lot to the guys on the field on all spaces.
You've been here for a while. There's a lot of change that's happening in this year. What do you think the potential of this 2025 team is?
I think there's all the potential we want. I think we're going to control our own destiny. You know, you look at our schedule, and there's not a game we're going to shy away from at all. It's going to come down to us. It always has. It always will. We have the people in the defensive room to get it done. You know, if I want to go 12-0, I want to see an American, I want to see in the college football playoffs, but we have to be able to come in every day and get it done. We got to come in, and it starts tomorrow when we come back in.
You know, Trey Fields had an interception today. You know, you had the fumble recovery for a touchdown. You know, how important do you think that linebacker room is to this defense, and especially in this type of scheme that Cassidy's running?
Man, I think it's incredibly important. Kind of going back to what she said, and we've got the most experience between me, Shane, and Trey. We've got some of the most experience playing some of the most football at some of the highest levels. And, you know, our defense goes as we go. You know, if we're going to be loud communicators and great executors, it's going to make the safeties behind us even better. It's going to make the D-line in front of us even better. So just being able to bring everyone together and keep playing at a really high level, it's, you know, that's why linebacker is such an important position.
Do you feel like being able to prepare against an offense that Coach Morris runs, and especially against a guy like Drew Mestemaker, do you think that kind of helped y'all going into this game, and especially the rest of the season?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, all week we break down film, and we're like, oh, well, you know, we see this every day. You know, they'll run concepts out of these formations, but you know, we see this every day, and actually it's harder. You know, Coach Morris does such a good job of, you know, being so dynamic in his offense that when we come out here, it's nothing we haven't seen, nothing we haven't practiced 1,000 times.
You guys had a shade over 20,000 in attendance today, and, you know, the initiative, of course, for Washington State is to sell it out. What do you have a message to the fans, especially after this first game today?
It was a lot of fun. You know, being there, playing in that arena was a lot of fun, and, you know, it's just come have a good time. I mean, you don't got anything else to do on that day if you're in the Denton area. So be here, be loud, come support us, and let's get it going.
All right, Cam, so such a tremendous performance across the board for you guys as a team today. What's the feeling like?
Yeah, the feeling is good. We come out there, put up a donut. Defense goes out there, shuts them out. And, you know, offense is clicking on all cylinders. We're going out there, you know, running the ball very well, you know, passing the ball very well. Everybody's making plays around the receiver room, so it feels good for sure.
Yeah, because this team did lose its top 3 guys after last year statistically from that wide receiver room. How much confidence does that give you guys for you to go out there and put up that kind of performance after, you know, kind of rebuilding that wide receiver room?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like you said, there's a few receivers that left, a lot of targets to be had, yards to be had, receptions to be had, all that. So I think we have a lot of guys in our receiver room that come in and pride themselves on, you know, going to work and, you know, filling those roles and stuff. So I think we have one of the best groups in the country, in my opinion. We got a lot of great players. So I think with our group, we're going to do some good stuff.
Yeah, among those great performances, Cam, you were one of them. Just what was your day like today?
Thank you. It was pretty good. First D1 college game, so down the book, so that's pretty cool. It was nice just to get, you know, one catch down. Once I got my first catch down, I was like, all right, yeah, I can, you know what I'm saying, I can start turning up a little bit. Yeah, but it feels really good just to go home with a win for my first game. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we talked a lot in the offseason about, you know, receivers coming in the offense and knowing that it's an air raid and wanting to play in the system. But what was it actually like for you out there in that first game for UNT?
It's probably the most fun offense I've ever played in. I mean, the ball goes around everywhere. It's deep, short, middle. I run every route as far as short, intermediate, or long. So, yeah, just the opportunity is there for me, and it's there for the whole receiver group to go out there and do some great things.
And then what was it like, playing with Drew Mestemaker today? He obviously had a great game alongside you guys.
Yeah, Drew's a baller. He is for sure a baller. His passes are money, the way he reads the field. When we watch film in meetings, the way he moves in the pocket, steps up, he's willing to take hits and, deliver a ball on time. So there's things like that that you can't deny. He's a very good player.
And then, in just in terms of the matchup, what do you feel like, Lamar was doing defensively that allowed you guys to exploit them?
Yeah, I think they just let us run without getting hands on at pretty much every receiver level. A lot of receivers running free. And yeah, I mean, I feel like we picked them apart. Everybody had a couple catches, everybody had a couple plays where they, drove the ball down the field and maybe got in the end zone, maybe not. So I think spreading the ball was something that, hurt them a lot.
First of all, great first game in a Mean Green uniform.
Thank you.
Congratulations. You've been here a short time. Do you feel like you've developed at all as a player, and if so, how?
Oh yeah, I feel like I've definitely developed a lot as a player from just getting here in January. I think I've gotten bigger, stronger, and faster. I came in a little underweight, got my weight up, and I think I'm getting better at running routes. I'm getting better at knowing the timing of where to be at on time and how to get open against different coverages, and just understanding the game and there's a lot of complexities in the game that I didn't know coming from D2. So I think just staying locked in on that and trying to get better every day.
This is a very versatile wide receiver room. You're a senior, but another piece of the puzzle is sophomore Miles Coleman. How would you evaluate his leadership and what he contributes to the room?
Oh yeah, Miles. He's not the biggest talker, but he comes in every single day, and you know what he's about. He shows up early. He's in the film room doing what he's supposed to do. Practice. He's playing fast every single day. There's no question on his effort or his willing to go out there and complete the job. So I think if I was a coach, I would be, wanting to put him out on the field because he's not only is he fast and athletic, he can catch the ball, but he knows his job. He knows what to do. He's very smart.
How excited are you for your first road game with the Mean Green next week?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Haven't traveled this far at all, so this is pretty cool, new experience for me. But yeah, I think just focusing on each week, going 1-0 each week, and that's where my head's at. Yeah.
Cameron, did you have any family or anybody that got to watch the game tonight?
Yeah, I did. They're probably out there watching, but my mom, my dad, uncle, auntie, my girlfriend, and a couple cousins. So they were all at the game, and I was happy I got to play pretty well in front of them. Thank you. I appreciate it.